to be here, and I'd like to talk to you about how we leverage AI for Sodexo to transform and migrate hundreds of websites into Excel Cloud 5 times faster. The agenda for today, we're going to do an introduction and welcome, and then Shakir, my friend here, is going to be giving an overview about Sodexo, and then we'll describe the challenge, introducing the XM Cloud and why it's a fit for them, and then we're going to see how we're leveraging AI to do this digital transformation for Sodexo. We'll give as well a demo, we'll see it in action, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. My name is Nabil Orfali. I am CEO and founder of Kajoo.ai. I am based in Toronto, Canada, and I am 8-time Sitecore MVP. I've been working with Sitecore since 2008, version 6, and happy to be here with you today. And I'm joined with my friend here, Shakir.
Yes, so hello everybody, I'm Shakir, I'm country manager in Sitecore France. As you can guess from my accent, I'm French. I spent more than 10 years of experience on the digital transformation. I started my career as a consultant to support the customer into their content, e-commerce, data, customer experience transformation from the strategy to the operational part. And because I was a good consultant, I decided to support my organization with the best advice and the best tool, and that's why I have joined Sitecore 3 years ago now. I'm really excited to be with you today to speak about two main topics that really passionate myself. The first one is the AI part of the digital transformation. It has been my playground for 10 years, and especially regarding the AI. AI is great, but our use cases it's even better, so that's why I'm really happy to be with you today. And the second one is related to Sodexo, one of my favorite French customers. And maybe before to start, I just would like to have a small exercise, if it's okay for you. I will ask you some questions, a couple of questions, and if it's positive on your way, I will ask you to raise your hand and keep it up, if it's okay. It will not be too long, I promise, so you will be able to put it down very quickly. Good for you? Yes, so far so good. So, first question, I would like to know among you who already attended a Super Bowl, Roland Garros match, or a Champions League football match. Nobody? Okay, one. Okay. Please keep it up. Thank you. 3, 4, okay. Second question. I would like to know who among you already attended the university in the US. Okay. Please keep the hands up. And last question. I would like to know who among you already went into the cafeteria of your organization. Okay, so we have around 80% of the attendees here. You can join the hands, thank you for the participation. My point here is that indirectly you already have worked as a consumer with Sodexo. Sodexo is a global leader in sustainable food and value experience at every moment in your life. When you learn at school, they are behind the scene and in the background, providing the food that you are having. Into the work, when you go into the cafeteria, because they are the ones who are managing the restoration, and during all of the fun activities that you have with some sports people that we have around the room. Based on that, we can go into the next slide. Thank you, David. When we put the context here, we know that they are managing all of the restoration. They face some major challenges regarding the last activities and the pandemic that you face. As you may understand now, because people change the way of consumption that they used to have with the remote, with having all of the activity at home, having the university that is providing some courses remotely too, it's less business and less activity for Sodexo. So based on that, they needed to adapt and review their strategy. So they decided to move from a B2B organization to a B2B4C organization. They didn't want to rely into enterprise or into school to connect with the consumer, but to have a direct relationship with them. So to build a direct consumer engagement with them. If we go into the next slide. So they wanted to build it, but they wanted to set up the first cornerstone of their digital transformation was the replatforming. It's not a surprise. The first step, milestone of a consumer for a brand is the website. So they decided to reshape, review how they are going to engage with their consumer with the replatforming, with a new website. However, they had to face some challenges. The first one, which is more related to all of the organization, is the content crisis. All of the organization, and especially major one like Sodexo with more than 500 people around the world as employees in more than 45 countries. There are multiple tools, multiple platforms, several systems that are disconnected, a lack of collaboration between the team. So it's a traditional one, you have the IT, you have the business, they're fighting, blah, blah, blah. But even into the business team, you always have the social media, the marketing activation. So they didn't really work all together in order to have an homogeneous experience for their consumer. So for that part is really related to all of the challenges that the organization are facing. On the other side, you also have all of the replatforming challenges that you have to face when you are thinking about a global website factory. It's great, I want to move forward. How complex is it? What are the different milestones that I need to tackle? At the end of the day, how many people do I need to bring into it? What is the cost? And how am I going to manage all of the content into that one? We are looking into personalization, we are looking into providing more video to the consumer, so at the end of the day, how am I going to manage all of that new content, share it to the consumer in a very precise way? And that's where XM Cloud fits actually, as they decided to tackle the challenges with the solution. And on top of that, I'm not going into the detail of the presentation of XM Cloud. I think that everybody have already many presentations about it. But the main point that you need to take into consideration for that session is, out of all of the challenges that we mentioned just before, they wanted to rely into a solution that meets three main requirements. The first one was related to the platform, out of the challenges, which was a future-proof platform that can be set up today and that can live for 10, 15 years from today, in order to avoid to change every year the website. And I said that because for that kind of organization, we are speaking about hundreds, thousands of websites, and it's long, it takes time, and out of the technological part, you also have the human one. So for the technological part, sorry, I'm French, and the future-proof platform, you also have all of the omni-channel asset management as a tool that can provide you from the content, from the creation, to the management, to the delivery of that asset in every channel possible. We are mentioning the website, but they are going beyond, because as we mentioned, if you are going into the university or the cafeteria of your organization, you already have some channel in order to see in the screen the menu that you are going to have. So that's what the omni-channel part was really important. So technological pillar. Second pillar was the adoption. So we are talking about technological, I have some difficulty with that word, sorry, part, but at the end it's a human transformation. How are we going to put people at the center of your transformation? And even if you have the best solution with XM Cloud, if you are not able to ensure the adoption of the people, it's totally useless. So putting, to facilitate the collaboration with a ready-to-use platform from the IT and the business was a key decision maker for Sodexo. And finally, they wanted to deploy fast all of their websites and to ensure the scalability. We are mentioning hundreds of thousands of websites from different countries, different teams, different regions, with different culture, on how they are able to manage a website. So that's the scope of the first project where they decided to start the XM Cloud adventure journey between Sitecore and Sodexo. Based on that, on the first result that they get, they were very happy to deploy XM Cloud, so they decided to have a look into additional projects in order to accelerate the transformation that they are having by identifying hundreds of other websites that was not in the initial scope to move them into XM Cloud. Into this other slide. And that's where Kajoo comes in, actually, because it was a missing piece of the Sodexo need in order to accelerate the website migration that they wanted to have. They had a very ambitious planning at the very beginning, and for the new project, it was even more ambitious. So we needed to ensure that they have all of the migration that they have from the giant website into XM Cloud. And the first part, to manage the integration with the global ecosystem as they used to have. And finally, have the capability to build the website factory. And that, so to be honest, I used to work a little bit with Nabil and L'Oreal, and I think I already mentioned that in another talk. So I was able to see the added value that we can bring to the customer for the acceleration of the migration. I will let you, Nabil, speak about it.
All right, thank you so much, Shakir. So I'm gonna present to you right now a real-life example for Sodexo and how they're leveraging AI to actually achieve all these great goals that Shakir talked about. So their current state right now is they have these 70 websites implemented on a CMS called Jaya, legacy CMS, very high cost of hosting and license, very hard and difficult to manage and scale. And what they really wanted to do is to have a unified platform like XM Cloud to have all these websites consolidated and implemented on the platform in a scalable way. But they also wanted an efficient way to transform and convert and migrate those 70 websites into XM Cloud under a very, very tight timeline and, as you can imagine, tight budget as well. After they wanted to migrate and finish the migration, they want to empower their team to be able to create and manage new websites and in a streamlined operating model to be able to scale and create new websites and pages quickly. So for that, we're going to be building a website factory using Kajoo.ai, and for the migration as well, we leverage Kajoo to facilitate and streamline and accelerate that migration for them. So what is Kajoo? So basically, Kajoo is an AI-powered digital experience builder that is capable of converting designs from multiple formats, whether it's Figma or existing implementation like Jaya for Sodexo, into Sitecore XM Cloud and headless code. And it features the ability as well to create website factories for this case of Sodexo and other clients. What is a website factory? It's a concept of really a framework of allowing organizations to effectively and efficiently create and manage and deploy multiple websites on multiple brands, multiple regions, very effectively and efficiently. And the benefits of a website factory is it allows the digital team to deploy and create new websites from and leveraging a component library and templates that doesn't have any design and theme, it's just a layout and has shared capabilities and functionality, but it's also capable to adapt the theme and the brand and the design system automatically and contextually when those components are added to websites and different brands. So that allows really for a significant acceleration in time to value and would reduce cost for creating and managing new websites and developing new websites as well at scale for different brands in a centralized way, and that ensures brand consistency across different brands and different countries. The way we approach this is basically we start by analyzing each and every website of those 70 websites and find the shared way or shared functionality and layout across components, across all these different brands and different websites. And we build this component library in an architecture that allows and facilitates and supports the website factory. And then we go and create a design system inside Kajoo that is for each brand, which has the color palettes and design tokens and different variants of every element that brings the design elements and design system closer to the development process to remove friction between design and development. because in Kajoo we can do visual development of all these component factory or website factory visually. You would convert this code from those websites into the Kajoo universal language and then bind them and integrate them with the Sitecore XM Cloud content models and the data templates. And then from there you can generate code from Kajoo in any language, JSS, Next.js, or React, or Angular, or Vue. And then you deploy that to the edge, whether it's Vercel or Netlify or rendering cost on XM Cloud, of course. And without further ado, I'm gonna show you now this whole process in action. I think I need to mirror. There you go. So for this example, I'm going to show you an example of a website called sodexolive.us and sodexolive.com. This is the page I'm going to convert now in front of you. So I start by, again, creating the design system. I put a prompt here for AI to go and grab the color palettes and color tokens, fonts, and different elements of call to actions and different elements of the website. It will import all of that into this Kajoo interactive design system. You can also build your global styles here in the design system. So you can use it in the visual development process. And also you can import design tokens and design system from Figma if you export them in a JSON format. Now I'm going to go and create a new project, and we'll link that project to the Sodexo Live design system. And that would allow me to have all these elements closer to the development process. And then I'm going to launch this migration wizard, convert to a Jamstack. I'll choose a public website and put the link here. And then when I go next, Kajoo now is analyzing the markup code and the CSS and all the structure of that page. And we're able to figure out that there is this number of breakpoints on that implementation, and there's an opportunity now to map them to the breakpoints of the design system and the end state that we wanted to have this built on. And it's converting now all the markup and styling and layout into the Kajoo universal language, which really allows you to import it into the canvas and have full control over it. The first use of this design system, as you can see, the font is not correct. So I can now apply the proper font from my design system globally on the whole page. And now I get the right font. And I have all my DOM here, all the elements, and I will now click on this block here, this component that has cards, and then I'm gonna name it, give it a name, and break it down into a component. I'll call it pillars, or our pillars, and then I can right click and create a component. Now you can see this component now is isolated, and we have the theme applied to it from the Kajoo design system automatically. It's responsive. And now I will build the new data template or content model to represent this component. So we have this content type builder. We create a list that has the different fields, and then there's a title at the top. And this is the visual development process that is very easy to just drag and drop and click and bind. So here I'm binding this element of the title with this title field and make the field dynamic. Similarly here, I bind it with the card title, and I also bound this repeater element that is repeating the cards with the array that's coming from the list. And now this is ready to generate code. But you can see right now I have my design system with all the elements and colors, I can now also generate completely new design. With Gen AI, we trained models to be able to generate the Kajoo universal language and open it up for editing in the canvas based on the design system. So it's a brand-aware AI that can create the design. So I choose the design system here. Let's share the project. I choose the mood or the style, and I put a prompt, create a hero banner, and let's see what AI is going to come up with. So it created a hero banner for me based on the same style and design and brand. And now I can just go to the page and drag and drop that component, and I have it here in the page. Another case as well, while we are migrating, Sodexo wanted to add new components from Figma. So I come here, during the development process, I launched the Kajoo Figma plugin, and I copy this component. I launch the import of the Figma design wizard, give it a name, and import it. You can see this component is not aligned with the brand. So I'm going to ask AI right now to make it align with the brand. I edit with AI. AI is brand aware, and it converted this card into the same color theme and brand. And now it's ready to be added to the page as well. So now I am a developer, I'm done with my components, I have my models, I have the integration done, and I will just click here, generate code, choose a language of React or Next.js. I'll open that code in real time in Code Sandbox in a web container. You can see here every component has two files, the Next.js file with the markup and code, and then there's a CSS module. The design system will be converted into a global style sheet file in the whole project, because we reference everything from that design system. And I can preview that with a click to see this is the end code, the generated code outcome. Is it really good? I can extend it, and then I'm ready to deploy to XM Cloud. So I go back to Kajoo and I choose the target website that is pre-configured. Now Kajoo will generate the code, put it in source control, in a certain branch. It will do the building of the whole newly generated code with the existing JSS app and framework. I'll choose to deploy this Our Pillars component only. And now there is a CI/CD pipeline triggered in the background that would do exactly that and create all the configuration and data templates in XM Cloud and deploy the code into the edge. I go to XM Cloud right now and I have opened the app and I will see my components. The code that we generate is SXA headless, best practice, and editable completely and compatible with Sitecore pages. So you can see here I added this component. It's linked to a data source, so it's responsive, of course. You can see I'm switching between breakpoints, and it's linked to a data source in Sitecore content item called Our Pillars. And with that, I guess I am done with the demo, and I will just keep some time for questions.
Does it have, do you have any kind of like audit capabilities to make sure you're in compliance, or is that just?
Accessibility?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a built-in accessibility checker in Kajoo that will allow you to see visually what are the areas that needs attention, or you can add area attributes or like tab index or any custom HTML attribute to make sure that the code is compliant with accessibility. Different accessibility standards you can choose to check against 1A, AAA, or and then yeah, it has a built-in capability for that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Nabil, for the demo. Obviously, you showed a sped-up version of how long it takes. I would like to know how long it took to do all of that live, like analyzing the sites, building the sites.
So overall, if I would estimate the average of how many times I split up different parts, I think you can say it's split up by average like 4 or 5 times. So the whole thing, this is like a 6 minutes video, so multiplied by 5, half an hour, let's say an hour. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
I have a quick question here. So can we convert MVC, Sitecore, 10 traditional website to headless XM Cloud using this tool?
Yeah, so when I was doing the demo, if you notice, there was 2 options to convert. One of them is from a public link, as I did here, but there is an option here you see from Sitecore. So we have a Kajoo plugin that goes into Sitecore MVC implementations and is capable of not only converting the markup and the styling, but it also maps every component to the renderings and data templates that are implemented on MVC. And then when you import them into Kajoo, all the components will be broken down in the exact same way that is implemented on MVC. And also the page would have all the instances of the components and the same presentation details. So we definitely support that, and we did multiple migration from MVC to XM Cloud. Or Sitecore headless. It doesn't have to be XM Cloud, like any headless code, JSS code.
First of all, Ben, I think that's an incredible piece of work.
Thank you.
Now the bad news. Could this be used for website theft?
Website, sorry.
Basically stealing somebody else's design.
You can.
Okay, I just thought I'd check.
But you can.
No, could this be used to steal IP basically of somebody else's web design?
You can put any link and convert it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you can use the tool in any way, you know, whether it's legal or not, right?
Just wanted to check.
Hi, does this help decouple front-end development from back-end development for humans?
Absolutely. Actually, as a matter of fact, Kajoo only takes care of front-end development and coding. So it does not, we don't touch back-end. And as you know, in headless development workflow, the scale and the split between front-end and back-end is switched. It's now heavier on the front end and much lighter on the back end. So on the back end right now with XM Cloud or headless, you only need to do like content modeling basically, and customization is to the minimum. But if you have like a back end code and business logic, you need to do it, of course, you know, in an API layer, and then expose that to Kajoo to present those content and responses in the front end.
Hey, when we are talking about in the demo, you use one component.
Sorry, what are you? Oh, okay. I
Here,
can't.
you use one component and put it into that production kind of stuff. What about the page or several pages and moving all the content about it? How is that process works? Is it the same way?
Now we're focusing on components and the component factory. In the upcoming release in the next month or 2, we are also expanding that into creating page templates and then deploying that to XM Cloud and then having those templates with presentation details preset. So when you migrate, we'll have the page and the components on it as well. But in between generating the code, we recommend that, you know, so think about Kajoo as a development acceleration tool. It accelerates between 30-40% to 70%, but there's still 30%, 40% needs to be done after you generate the code if you want to add any business logic, interactivity, any custom code. So you generate code, you put it in your source control, pick it up in the project and then, you know, deploy it. So
one more question. Two. First of all, congratulations to both Sodexo and you for doing such a fantastic job. My question is about content reusability. once the migration is completed and assuming hypothetical situation where the same type of content is used in multiple pages and you imported them, and then you are also creating Sitecore content behind the scenes in XM Cloud. Are you going to reuse the content or is it created as separate content blocks?
So any migration project has three parts. There is the UI migration, and you need to rewrite the UI and the front end code. There's the content migration and mapping, and there is the cycle forms migration if you want to migrate to XM Cloud Forms, right? So we take care of the UI migration right now. We automate that, and we produce components that you can add them. We add them to the component library in XM Cloud, and then when we drop it, you link it to your content items. We don't migrate content right now. We only focus on the UI, and now we are working on a feature to migrate XP forms into XM Cloud Forms, and then next we'll be implementing content migration and mapping, so where you can migrate all the content and then map it to the new design in the visual canvas, because this is also a big pain point for a lot of scale customers.
That's all the time we have for Q&A. We have another session, so please, everyone, feel free to catch Nabil and Shakir after outside. But thank you, everyone.